doctor work for 9 months, 16 months, 19 months without getting paid.
But you see how much kidnappers are picking from victims and babies.
Problem with all the stakeholders get that, and I think we get that. The 3% for the oil producing community is too low.
But the support that is needed. And once you get the support, your airline people will blossom.
This is Nigeria. You need to give people sense of belonging.
Why will a medical doctor work for 9 months, 16 months, 19 months without getting paid?
But you see how much kidnappers are picking from victims and babies.
Problem with all the stakeholders get that, and I think we get that. The 3% for the oil producing community is too low.
But the support that is needed. And once you get the support, your airline people will blossom.
This is Nigeria. You need to give people sense of belonging.
Why will a medical doctor work for 9 months, 16 months, 19 months without getting paid?
But you see how much kidnappers are picking from victims and babies.
Problem with all the stakeholders get that, and I think we get that. The 3% for the oil producing community is too low.
But the support that is needed. And once you get the support, your airline people will blossom.
This is Nigeria. You need to give people sense of belonging.
Good morning and welcome to Inside Nigeria on Leadership Television. I think today is June 13th and it's still in order to say Happy Democracy Day. My name is Winifred Governor. I have with me in the studio this morning Samala Musa and to have you on the program.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So as usual, we have 4 papers for review this morning. Nigeria's most influential newspaper, Leadership, THISDAY newspaper, Nation, and Punch newspaper. These are papers for review this morning. And of course, we are going to be discussing some of the major headline stories. We are starting with Leadership. Leadership says, as Buhari's administration winds down in 11 months, Nigeria still grapples with terrorism, kidnappings, killings. As Buhari's administration winds down in 11 months, Nigeria still grapples with terrorism, kidnappings, killings. And of course, there are riders, news riders underneath the story. Oh, sorry, I can't get that now, but that is the essence of the story. Similar, Nigeria celebrated its Democracy Day, June 12th, you know,
Yes.
yesterday. And of course, as usual, President Muhammadu Buhari gave a speech to commemorate that day. And yes, I can see the riders. And I said 913 kids, 265 abducted in 421 attacks last month, according to reports. 30 wedding guests kidnapped in Sokoto, 11 killed in Benue. Southwest governors revisit state police to strengthen Amotekun. We have done a lot to tackle challenges, according to defense. I'll take leadership's headline story once again. As Buhari's administration winds down 11 months, Nigeria still grapples with terrorism, kidnappings, and killings. 913 kids, 265 adopted in 421 attacks last month, report says. 30 wedding guests kidnapped in Sokoto, 11 killed in Benue. Southwest governors revisit state police to strengthen Amotekun. We have done a lot to tackle challenges, our defense says. That's the story, headline story on leadership.
Yeah, it's actually quite unfortunate that Nigeria is still grappling with terrorism, kidnappings, and all these killings. It's unfortunate that uh, under a military uh, general, Nigeria is actually going down. It's unfortunate because for these people saw it, this present government saw it before they came in.
Yes.
So one will think that they already have a blueprint on what to do, and having a retired general, at the helm of affairs, people were already signed this kind of, there's going to be some kind of relief in that regard because these are people who know the art of war and how to actually tackle this kind of menace. But unfortunately, 7 years down the line, from the day President Buhari came into power, we've been talking about insecurity.
Mm.
That has been the major headline almost on a weekly basis. 7 years
After.
after, we're still talking about it. Now we're counting few months to
Yes.
the end of the 8 years. We're still talking about these issues. Honestly, we don't know what is going to happen next after this timeout. But it's quite unfortunate, really, because everybody's going about their businesses as if it's business as usual. We have gotten it's most unfortunate because Nigeria has now gotten to a stage where when you hear the numbers, it doesn't even shake anybody anymore. We've gone at those days when you hear, oh, 5 people killed, blah blah, and everybody will be like, how this and that, there's that kind of exclamation, but not anymore. Uh, it doesn't really matter to Nigeria anymore. We hear these killings by the numbers almost on a daily basis. Some are even unreported because when it happens in some of these remote areas, you don't really get to hear about it. Kidnapping still happen almost on daily basis. Uh, Quite a lot of families don't even go to the police anymore because they find out that look, it's yielding no results, but rather negotiate with the terrorists and pay the ransom that you can pay.
To have your loved one
So
alive.
you understand. So really, it's quite unfortunate. And also, there's also this connivance with some of the security operatives. There was an incident of kidnapping on Kaduna Abuja Road where the wife wasn't feeling well. They were rustled into the bush, and then the terrorists, the kidnappers, found out that the woman is going to waste their time, so they just leave her there and moved on with the rest of them. So she found her way back to the main road until she got help. And when she got to police station, she reported, told the police that her husband is among the people kidnapped, and this was what happened. And then shortly after that, the kidnappers were asking the people kidnapped that the woman we left on the road, who is her husband here? How did they get to hear that? they got a phone call
from the police.
from the police.
That's
You understand? So
is the reason why you will not be able to contain
you understand?
the issue.
Yeah,
in
there's
Malays.
quite a number of compromise within the
Yes.
system that is actually not helping the situation, and it's really, really unfortunate that this is still going to happen. I mean, it's still continuing. We can keep praying as much as we want, but if there's no actually any sign that this is going to end in the nearest future, because rather than abating it, is rather escalating.
Yet,
So really,
Samela, the last rider on leadership on the headline story says that we are doing the best we can to contain it. That is on the defense. So if you are doing the best, so is the best good enough in the circumstances?
well, I think the military should just come out boldly to say that maybe Nigerian government should go and get mercenaries to come and curtail this menace, because if shamelessly they are saying they are doing their best with this at this rate that we're going, then I think they are not fit to actually be there. Gone are the days where we always talk about Nigerian military being one of the best in the whole world, but unfortunately, just something
we see
within.
Leadership newspaper. Let's have leadership. Okay, continue.
So, unfortunately, we're still having these issues over and over, and yet military officers, military generals are actually buying properties all around, all over the place. We saw an issue of one that was called bought houses in almost 8 states of the country. Now, when you even look at the way they jostle to get that to be a member of the JTF, what do they call that, Joint Task Force in the Niger Delta?
Yes.
You understand? Because once you made it there, you're already made.
Oh, yes.
Financially, you're
there are cases of them, just like you said, buying houses.
You understand? So, and in as much as the insecurity has become one of the biggest industry of making money in Nigeria, it's really gonna stay for a while, actually, honestly. So maybe the government should advise the citizens to actually look for alternatives to actually protect themselves, rather than waiting until being led to be slaughtered or being kidnapped, and yet the government seems to be helpless, because the military is the one now saying they are doing their best. The days of excuses are already past. They've already exhausted all the excuses in the world that they can actually present. So it's unfortunate, honestly.
Now, like leadership stated, as Buhari's administration winds down in 11 months. So do you see security issue going to be playing a pivotal role for the next forthcoming election among the aspirants, like you did with APC?
Yeah, of course. As a matter of fact, the people who are coming in or who are jostling for the position of the president of Nigeria, I think one of the major areas they will want to, their manifesto or whatever it is, to actually be tailored towards should be about tackling insecurity. Unfortunately, when other nations are already moving into another gear of their economic development, Nigeria is here talking about insecurity for almost 16 years. But for any serious candidate knows that there's no any economic plan you're having for this country that is going to thrive in the long run if this insecurity persists. If you don't tackle this headlong, you will just be deceiving yourself. So it should be an issue actually during this, especially during the campaigns. Let us know who are the team that you're bringing on board to tackle these insecurity issues. Maybe after, if we can do that in the first 4 years of your administration, then maybe we can now talk about how we're moving into economic development.
Now, many Nigerians are saying that this forthcoming election, should they be all about going to tackle security? They should give a detailed account on how they intend to do that. Do you see?
Yeah, honestly, I love to see presidential candidates who will be bold enough to come and give us timeline that if I can't do this within the next so time, I will resign. That's the way serious people behave. you know, pressure that you say it's actually not really the problem for us as we speak now, but rather insecurity.
How to stay alive.
Has to stay alive. So for any serious candidate, there should be timelines. And even the people you are bringing on board to tackle this issue must have timelines. If you can't do this already, I have another set of people waiting that once you can't perform, you are booted out, then this set of people take over. So it's more or less like when you have a super sub in football, you say, oh, these are the ones on the bench. Once this is having any injury, he's going to be replaced by this. So that will actually send a strong signal across the board to say that we are here for a serious business. If we can't deliver, then we are as good as God. So that's the only way to actually achieve results.
Okay. Still on security issues, that is what the nation is leading with this Monday, June 13th. Let's see what nation is saying on security issue, especially in the Southwest. Nation. Southwest governors draw battle plan against terrorists. Southwest governors draw battle plan against terrorists. Owo church killings ignite action. 3 days mourning for Owo victims. Okada riders influence to be curtailed. That is on the Nation newspaper. The fallout of the security issue that we have been talking about.
Yeah,
You see it as a bit late in coming.
Yeah, well,
given the fact that it's just 11 months for most of these Southwest governors to wind down.
Well, they actually have even tried to some extent. I know over time it has been an issue. Is either they are calling on the banks to open grazing or this or that. That has been a debate. On the national at the national level to say no, you do not have the rights to actually ban some people from coming into the Southwest. Well, from time to time, I know they hold this kind of meetings, but for this particular one, it's not actually late. Maybe that of the governor, if he hadn't taken action at the time, I thought because he was on his way to Abuja for the convention when that happened, he stayed back to actually visit the scene of the crime. And then, of course, the rest of them, perhaps some of them were already in Abuja, so they probably couldn't hold this meeting, as a region to discuss further on probably the Amotekun issue that has been on the front burner in the past and other stuff. But really, it's actually not too late. But you see, this our killing, there have been so many conspiracy theories around it.
Yes.
Some persons feel is taking the kind of dimension of what happened in what's the name of that town in the north, in the southeast, where we saw how some drug cartel that were having drug issues in South Africa came all the way and brought it to the hometown of one of the drug lords, and even not taking it to his family house, but rather to the church. That's actually barbaric, And some persons said, oh, the Owo too, that area, the Owo area, has the largest weed farms. That's what I'm talking about. What they call marijuana.
Yes.
Yeah, that. And so you have some drug lords around that place that have international connections and stuff like that. But so far, we've not had anything among the victims to say so person who was killed actually happens to be a drug lord. Because I believe if it was something like that, there should have been a scenario where they will say this is our target. You understand? And nobody has mentioned anything. But what I found most appalling is the fact that nobody can say for a fact yet that these are the set of people who did it. In the past, you could say, oh, maybe the Fulanis, or maybe this, or maybe there have been no traces to say these are the kind of people. The other day, the federal government said it's ISWAP.
Yes.
But the governor is of the opinion that is too hasty
Yes.
to actually conclude on that.
Conclusion.
Yeah. So there'll be this conspiracy theories. We really can't tell. But I think our security, especially the DSS, need to unravel the people. I'm not even talking about arrests now, because there's so many of them that have not been arrested yet. But be able to even come up with an information to say these are the set of people who did this, so that other people will also beware or be wary of those people. You understand that, oh, this is how deadly they can be. Because if people can actually go in and indiscriminately start shooting at people, even in war, there are people that you spare. You spare women, you spare children. But this is quite unfortunate that, at this level that we are in this era, people can still just walk into a church and begin to just kill people at random. It's actually unfortunate.
Very, very unfortunate. Well, with that, viewers, we are going on a break. When we come back, we'll be looking at other papers we have on our menu. Please don't go away. Stay tuned.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
You're welcome back. This is Inside Nigeria and Leadership Television. I want to apologize for bringing the program a bit behind schedule. It was due to circumstances beyond our control. We're here now, and with me still in the studio is our public affairs analyst, Samela Musa. Samela, thank you once again for honoring us with your presence.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So we have two papers more on our menu, and we are looking at the Punch newspaper first. Let's discuss politics, still on politics. The Punch. APC may unveil Tinubu's running mate Wednesday. Party focuses on Northeast. APC may unveil Tinubu's running mate Wednesday. This Wednesday, that is a day after tomorrow, as party focuses on Northeast. Rider party warned over Muslim ticket. Majority leader says no cause for alarm. VP should come from Northeast. Governors focusing on the zone. Adodogura lawmaker say. APC may concede Senate President to Southeast, Speaker to Northwest. I'll take the headline story once again. APC may unveil Tinubu's running mate Wednesday. Party focuses on Northeast. Party warned over Muslim ticket. Majority leader says no cause for alarm. VP should come from Northeast. Governors focusing on the zone. Adodogura lawmaker. APC may concede Senate President to Southeast, Speaker to Northwest. This is a story making the headline on the Punch newspaper this Monday, June 13, 2022.
Yeah, okay. The issue of the APC.
INEC has given them deadline
Yes.
to submit.
I think it's on Friday.
Yes, this Friday for their running mates. And the parties, all the parties, presidential aspirants are warming up to choose their running mates. So, what do you see for APC, the ruling party?
Yeah, okay. This actually has been the dilemma of Tinubu even before he emerges as the presidential candidate of the APC. I mean, the flag bearer of APC. People have actually made those assertions way back to say, where is he going to? Let's even assume he emerges. Where will he pick his running mate from? Because there's actually that perception that the court not have this reservation for, if you say this person is going to represent us, um, will it be a Christian? And because the majority in the north are Muslims.
Oh, yes.
Of course, you have Christians in virtually every state in northern Nigeria, but I mean they are not in the same proportion like you have the Muslims, with exception to some states like Taraba, Adamawa, like Plateau, like
Benue.
Kaduna, Benue, But when you go north, especially the northwest, where you have the largest number of voters from, or have always have that reservation. So how would we want to sell a Christian northerner to the north, to an average northerner, to say he's the one representing you in this government? But you see, that is actually to some class they believe is doable. You can do it, but under whatever circumstance, we should always consider that the heterogeneous nature of Nigeria. Maybe in the 60s, in the 70s, in sometimes in the 80s, religion does not really matter when you talk about leadership in Nigeria. But in as much as you keep talking about zoning, which is, you're talking about ethnicity now, there is no how you want to trash religion. Because I mean, you probably thinking from both sides of your brain. If you cannot say, oh, let's just base it on competence and do away with zoning, it must not be zoned to anywhere, let it be competence, then
the religion will not matter.
Religion will not matter.
You are
but as long as you keep talking about zoning, then religion will always play a factor. You understand? So, and then when you make it look like some persons don't have people, because I heard people like Erufai talking about, no, it's about competence, religion does not matter, and all of that. But I would have preferred them to have not zoned their own to the south, so that we will now be talking about competence all the way. So what you're trying to do at this stage is, since you have achieved zoning for your candidate, we're not coming to the running mate. You're saying it doesn't matter. You don't zone it. You don't consider any other divide. Note that Nigeria has never been divided along religious lines like we're having in today's Nigeria. You understand? And then you don't also want to start rubbing it on some people's faces and say, no, it's about competence. Are you saying there are no competent Christians? Or are you saying there are no competent Northern Christians? So you need to be very careful in your utterances per time, because it's still coming back to haunt you. You understand? So really, these are factors that have been major in the political stage in Nigeria, and there's no how you're going to trash that. You better begin to appease to the sensibility of people, rather than be saying some, I mean, making some utterances that makes some other persons feel like, oh, they are not worthy. Is that what you're saying? So if you say, oh, even in the north, there are still north. You understand? Some people are more northern than some people. We're grappling with this, so divided things. Divided, really, we are as a people. So this will continue to be an issue. But I hope, and I also understands Siwaju's predicament. Is actually in a tight fix. But I hope his handlers will be able to strike a balance. Because they are of the opinion that if you choose someone from the north who is not a Muslim, it's going to affect your votes in the long run. And stuff like that. I think the only person who is safe.
That I was actually going to that, virtually to the wizard of my mouth.
Yeah.
No, this Muslim ticket, or this choice, that is Tinubu's choice of VP now. You think it's something that will make or mar his road to presidency come 2023?
It definitely, whatever he decides at this stage, it's definitely going to affect him one way or the other. So that's why I said I understand his predicament. He's actually in a tight fix. Wherever he swings this to, but you see, politics should remain what it is. It should be about negotiations, like we keep saying all the time. We saw how about 10 governors from the north almost even stampeded the chairman and also the
how vulnerable the north, these northern governors are.
You
they
understand?
shared their own personal interest, and they said no. The party has to zone the ticket to the south.
You understand?
They stood
So
their ground.
I
so don't
also
you think
will
they will also be so honorable to say,
yeah,
you understand the feelings of Nigerians?
Yeah,
you can.
Yeah, I even want to say that I would prefer them now to use, because these are sitting governors.
Yes.
Use your political, clout, your paraphernalia to sell whoever candidate that is coming from that region that Atiwaju is speaking, even if he's not a Muslim. You understand? Deliver on it and let your people understand. Because if it's about negotiations, it all depends on how you're coming out to people to say, oh, the Senate president is coming from the north, the speaker who is coming from so part of the north or something like that. When people feel, okay, there is actually fairness to a large extent. But you see, the presidency itself, president and the VP, these are the people who represent Nigeria at the world scene.
Yes.
So everybody is now jostling to see that, no, don't make it look like this religion don't exist in Nigeria. You understand? We also want to be on the world map to say, oh, okay, it's time in Nigeria. If you have a Christian president, the VP is a Muslim. If you have a Muslim president, then the VP is a Christian. So I would prefer to see a scenario where that continues, actually, because it's a time where we're trying to manage all this crisis about ethnicity, about religion. So let us also strike a balance such that people don't begin to see it like, oh, you're trying to marginalize a particular section of the country or a particular tribe or a particular religion in Nigeria. But, well, let's see how it goes. Let's see what negotiations they're able to actually achieve in that regard, But I think Atiku is actually safe.
Oh, yes.
It's safe because now his own is very clear that it's coming from the south. The VP is coming from the south. And so it will not be fair. Let's assume if Atiku now wants to pick and he said, oh, south, I want to microzone it to the southwest since our opposition is coming from the southwest. And now go there and pick a Yoruba Muslim as running mate. So you create confusion. But the body language has been very clear that it's either south or southeast. But I think it's south tilting more towards the south, and he's considering Okowa and the Wike, except if these two guys now feel okay, it's either me or nobody amongst the two of us. Then probably he can now move forward to say maybe consider somebody like Udom, But it's been very clear it's going to be a Christian from that part of the country. So, but for the APC, I wish them the best of luck, honestly.
These are not easy times.
These are not easy times.
Thank you so much. From the Punch, we'll move over to the last paper we have on our menu, and that's This Day. This day's headline story is still on politics, but we are not going to be discussing that. Let's move up above the masthead. We're talking about business. Let's see, above the masthead. No, above the masthead. Yes, Goldman Sachs forecast oil prices to surge to nearly $140 in weeks. National power grid collapses again as discos apologize. Goldman Sachs forecasts oil prices to surge to nearly $140 in weeks.
Yeah, I think this is the highest.
Have you ever had it this high?
No, this is the highest it has ever gotten in the history of oil in Nigeria, especially, So for this international markets to be going at 140 per dollar, there are actually two major issues. It is going to be a gain for Nigeria, a gain in the sense that we have oil and we're also exporting oil from this country. So it means we are going to get more for it because at a point it was half this price, even under this government.
Under this price, yes.
You understand?
And this what has been a battle cry for the government that they meant oil price all-time low.
All-time low,
previous administration. Now, the
so
oil
now
is climbing steadily.
So if it got to 140, I think is a big plus for Nigeria. But the fact that we, as a country, do not have a functional refinery, the citizenry is going to find it a bit harder, because when you take it out there, well, I believe even it's going to affect the cost of refining as well.
Exactly.
So for the end users in Nigeria, perhaps we're going to see a situation where they start debating on whether to increase the the pump price or not. How far that can actually go or succeed, we can't tell yet, but it all depends on the people who will be the handlers of that. But well, yeah, it's going to be a gain situation in the long run, because what they have always make us to believe is that when you increase the pump price, the citizenry stand to gain from that.
Yes.
But unfortunately, in Nigeria, it has always been, the reverse has always been the case.
Oh yes.
Half of this money always go into private pockets. A lot of times people do all manner of things that you think they can never get away with, especially in the petroleum industry in Nigeria, but you never hear anything about it. We saw how some people were scamming the country, bringing in imported petrol, and never, because it will be recorded that that vessel entered Nigeria and they make a U-turn and go elsewhere. You understand? And we saw how some of these people were arrested. We saw how they were going to court, and up till today, it went away. Nobody ever heard anything, because these are the big guys in the society. Even these names you've never heard of in those lists, in that list, are actually fronting for the ones that you know.
Yes.
So we're actually in a very deep mess in this country in that regard. But we hope Nigeria is going to benefit more from this surge in this price.
I don't know. Do you think we'll be able to harness the gains, given the fact that just 11 months for the administration to wind down, we don't really still have a functional refinery?
Well, we hope the people coming in will be able to do something about it, because maybe before this price will actually manifest, we might be talking about maybe towards the end of this year, because already the year has been divided into two equal half right now. So we have 6 months to go, maybe in another 4 months or thereabout. So by that time, we must have been counting the number of days left for this administration. We're just hoping that the people coming in will now be able to take advantage of this and try to revive the refineries. But don't mind you, the refineries that have been obsolete all this while are still gulping millions of dollars in maintenance. You know, and that is actually why Nigeria has been one of the most, the funniest country in the world.
And the workers are being paid.
The workers are the highest paid, perhaps of all government parastatals or institutions. Those ones in NNPC in particular are actually the highest paid, and yet they are not doing nothing. Especially when you talk about some refineries that are there that for so long they've never produced anything. Nothing goes in there for refining, but yet monies, especially that the ones that have issues with the most is actually that of maintenance, because you're asking yourself, what are they actually maintaining? You say this thing is not functioning. So why are you maintaining it?
It's interesting.
You know, and most of these things they are maintaining, the world have moved away from that. Technology have moved away from that. They don't longer, even when some of these things got spoiled, they can't even find it in the market. They have to order for it, like a customized one to now fit in. You know, so that it's unfortunate, really.
Yeah, national power grid collapses again as discos apologize.
I mean,
For as long as I can remember, with this national power grid has collapsed, how many times it's been collapsing incessantly?
But the question is, why is it collapsing? Is there no solution to things that are man-made? Do you understand? We're not talking about natural disasters. We're talking about things that are man-made. Are there no solutions to it? Can't you have backups such that when it collapses within the next few hours, you know, the backup takes over? I think I want to go with some of the people who believe that Nigeria is cursed when it comes to this power issue, that they can never come out of it, really, because time and time again, we've seen presidents come in and go. One of the things that have been on their lips when they are coming in has always been, if I don't achieve anything, I will achieve this power. And yet, especially in Buhari, for instance, who have seen it all before coming to the stage, and yet is leaving in a few months, we're still talking about this one, even when it doesn't collapse.
The Minister of
When-
Works, Fashola, did say that
I mean,
6 months is enough
all
for you to
of them
fix
will always say that.
power.
But what I'm even saying is that when it did not collapse, how many hours did we have the lights? You understand? So to some people, it doesn't even make any sense to them whether it collapses or not, because they feel when it was functional, how many do I even see the lights? You know, like there's a cartoon I saw that says it's only in Nigeria that you use your money to actually buy petrol to run your business, but you use the profits from that to pay NEPA bill. You understand?
And pay VAT too.
And pay VAT too. So really, it's let's us keep praying. Maybe one day,
We'll get it right.
maybe in another 20 years, maybe we'll see somebody who is actually serious about fixing this issue.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That is a takeaway for the program. We'll see somebody maybe in the next 20 years or the next decade, or more than how many decades.
You know,
Somebody that will fix Nigeria's problems. Well, viewers, this is what we'll call it a day on today's program. Don't forget, tomorrow is another day on same station, same time. Do join us. I remember you for the above. Thank you so much, Samara.
thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.